Okay. So good evening to all of you. Sorry, because of certain technical issue, we couldn't get across to you immediately. So right now we are going to see this today. We are going to look at the August settlement, what happened in August settlement, which is just concluded. And also we are going to look at the outlook for Nifty, Bank Nifty and for stocks. And generally speaking, it doesn't need much of an emphasis to say that Nifty, Bank Nifty, all of them are in a big bull market. Question there is that how do we extend our gains? Whether we should take profits. Suppose if you have already taken profits waiting for a re-entry, then where do we make a re-entry? So that is the point of, these are the points of interest. And probably we can look at some stocks because the general big market is on the upside. So what's happening as far as the stocks are concerned? Now we always focus generally on Nifty and Bank Nifty, but also to say is that Nifty Small Cap. Now Nifty Small Cap is not reflecting the same bullish trend of the Nifty. So we see a lot of, because Nifty Small Cap has a lot of stocks which are related to auto industry also. Generally the one sector which is not doing that well is the auto sector. So now if you look at the sector specific right now, this is the one sector which is not doing well, and the sector which has done extremely well is the commodity sector, right? So this has been in fire, particularly you look at the stocks, steel stocks, Tisco, you have got then Hindalgo. So some of these commodity related stocks have done extremely well. Then of course suddenly we have seen good spurt in FMCG stocks also. And then of course the IT stocks, TCS and Infosys, Tech Mahindra, HCL Tech, all have done extremely well. So if you look at the sector specific of the last month, I think we have seen IT doing very well, FMCG suddenly perking up in the last few days of the settlement, and the commodity stocks with some correction has still done well. So these sectors have done extremely well. Okay, and the one sector which has not done well is auto. Generally speaking, auto is not doing well in the last couple of months itself. So except for auto, I think the remaining have done well. But also we have also looked at other areas of individual stocks like Apollo Hospitals, which has done extremely well. So there are certain stocks and which are doing very well. So we have to be little more stock specific if we are to be in this bull market to extend our bull rally, because one is of course to be in the Nifty and also whether to be in the Bank Nifty or so or so. But generally speaking, Bank Nifty is an underperformer compared to Nifty. So we have to look at which sector or which ETF index we should be in, and then which stock we should be in. Nifty as such, first we will get outlook for Nifty, then we look at the sector specifically. Nifty now found its resistance close to 16,700 levels or so, close to 16,700 it is trading, but I think the rally is looking good for extending it further. So probably we could see a further leg up. We don't know where exactly it is going to stop properly, but only thing is that immediate support right now is emerging as 16,375. I think this is the most important support right now. So as long as this support holds, I think we should be looking towards further gains. Now let's look at the stock, this one. See, this is the daily chart, and recently we got a bounce slightly below the 20 moving average and closer to the 50. It has taken support and has started to rally now. So if we get, sorry, this is a US stock, sorry, Nifty. Sorry. So this is Nifty, and today again it has done extremely well. So I think it looks as if even this today's low could be a very important low. That is 16,568. So 16,550, 560, 568 itself probably looks to be a good support. And probably we could see this extending itself further up. So the trend line support is now, if you look at the trend line support, it is so this is the important support right now, and probably the resistance can come on any line which is parallel to this. So as we touch this trend line, I think we may have some resistance closer to the 16,800, 900 levels. As it comes to it, probably we will have some sort of resistance there. But otherwise, I think this particular trend line itself, this line itself now looks to be a good support levels. So this particular area of support, this is 16,550, 560 itself, looks to be a very important support level. So the first thing that we should trade is long Nifty with a stop loss below 16,550 levels. And the second stop loss comes below this level, which is 16,360 or 375 levels. So now it's apparent that we are looking at a much higher level, so we don't want to make a projection because every other projection is getting broken. So let us look towards remaining in the market rather than looking towards taking profit. So right now, I think profit taking, we will look at the situation and then probably decide at some stage in future. Now, the most important thing as far as the market is concerned, on which we will also be looking at it is, generally, if you come out in a bull market, somewhere you put a stop loss or somewhere you take a profit, then to get on board, if you want to again re-enter, you always end up at a level higher than the stop loss which you have put. So generally, it is better to keep moving ahead with the market and not look at intermediate levels of support at all, because once that is broken, you can see many times, very choppy actions. You put in a stop loss somewhere here. Suppose somebody says that you put in a stop loss here. The stop loss gets triggered, then it comes down and immediately jumps. So very difficult right now, to put stop loss, to trade with stop losses. So whether stop loss is important or not in a bull market itself is debatable. There may be one particular time where the stop loss will be very important, but very frequent stop loss application also will be very killing. So we need to know where exactly that particular place we should have and trade the market this way. So right now, I think we should trade keeping this particular place of 16,375 as the most important place of support, and the intermediate level of support, of course, is this particular place which came today. So these are the two levels on which we should bank and then continue to look towards further rally. Now, if you look at the monthly chart. Now, this is a big month. It has rallied from 16,720 to from 15,839 to 16,730, almost a 900 points of rally. So, if you wish, you can always apply the R1, R2 levels, R3 levels, and then see basically where probably it can have some resistance. So that we will do. 16,720, 15,839 and 16,705. It is closed exactly near the high. So this is the high is 16,739, low is 15,875 or so, and close is 16,705. Right now till now, okay. So if you apply this, then because of course this month is not ended, then 2 more days is there. But assuming till now this is the high because yesterday was a close, so approximately this is the place. So if we get something very 16,739 plus 15,875 plus 16,705 divided by 3, so 16,440. So the average level is 16,440. So mostly this may not get broken. So this is a place where probably a little bit down we are going to get support. Now we look at the first resistance on the upside. It comes to 17,000. So R1 comes to 17,000. So I think the first thing that we should look as the range between 16,450 and 17,000. And beyond that, this is 900 points. So maybe 17,340 levels. So R2 comes very closer to that. So I think we could be probably looking anything even between 17,000, 17,340, and the lower level could be something less 16,440 or 16,450 levels. So this is the area of support depending on based on the pivot point calculation, and more or less I think the market will trade anywhere between this level and this level. So between 16,450, 400 or approximately around that, and 17,300. So it could be in between this. So Nifty looks bullish, and application of stop loss, I leave it to you. We are not very keen about stop losses right now because there could be points where it can come down, go up, come down, go up. But if you want a tail end stop loss right now, I think it is 16,375. The two stop losses, one is the 16,000 today's low, 15,550, and stop loss 2 is 16,375. So you can just, what you do is, I think you just buy a 16,400 call always and just leave the market there. I think probably whatever happens, you keep rotating that particular, probably rolling over that position, and you'll end up with a profit probably extending up to 17,300 or 400. So that's a big call that you can take as far as Nifty is concerned. Now, as far as Bank Nifty is concerned, so we have the NSE Bank. So the big chart is the daily chart. Bank Nifty is also right now doing well. So I think at this point of time we should call for an extension of the Bank Nifty. But only thing is, it is a relatively underperforming compared to Nifty, because we have seen that February high is still not being broken, whereas Nifty has scaled all those things very significantly. So to that extent, it is weaker compared to Nifty. So I think it is better to be more in the broad market than being in the Bank Nifty. Okay. So now let's look at the daily chart. And today action is good enough for us to look towards be on the long side, because I told you last week itself that if it crosses above this 35,427, then we should be on the long side, right? So I think probably that has worked, and I think we should continue to be on the long side, keeping 34,810 or 820 as a stop loss. So I think right now Bank Nifty is still good enough, and we had such a big bar. So I think probably, if at all there is a correction, it could come closer to the low of this particular bar. But I think right now itself Bank Nifty looks still good in the chart. So there could be some more extension as far as Bank Nifty is concerned. But generally speaking, Bank Nifty is having a very crowded thing. That is, we are not seeing since June itself. I think we are seeing a very chaotic or I would say literally less trending activity as far as Bank Nifty is concerned. So you need to be careful about application of stop losses, because if you do any stop loss application in this particular thing, then you will get frustrated. So you need to work out your strategy as far as stop loss is concerned. So that is very important as far as Bank Nifty is concerned. Be careful about applicating stop loss, because the stop loss can get triggered and it can still go up. So the big side as far as the Bank Nifty is concerned is this particular trend line which comes I think this particular line is holding right now. So I think we should hope that this particular line holds for it to go up a little bit on the higher side. So Bank Nifty, generally speaking, I think the most important support right now which is going to come is this, and then after this particular place. So but we don't need to concentrate too much on this. I think probably this particular area is going to be the most important area of this one support area. And if we keep the line parallel to this, I think this is the area where probably every time it tries to go up, I think you can look at resistance coming closer to this particular line. So along this particular line, trend line, parallel trend line, we may get some resistance as far as Bank Nifty is concerned, which can keep pushing it a little on the lower side, So you can be in the long side, and where I kept my the symbol, look towards taking some profit and then buy again on dips. Okay, so that is as far as Bank Nifty is concerned. Now, the one sector which is generally doing well is the Nifty IT sector. I think it has done much better. So let's look at the big sector index. Nifty IT. So this is, you can look at this particular thing. It is much less clustered, more trending, and this is even this is daily chart. This is not even a monthly chart. This is a daily chart. So this chart has been, I think, literally speaking, except for this particular period. I think probably this was in April 2021. April 2021. Where that particular month there was some sort of a cluster, I think. But after that, if you see, it has generally held on and moved up very significantly. And right now it has had a parabolic rise. So which means that probably there can be some cooling which can bring the market somewhere between the 20 moving average and 50 moving average. So this is the place, because it is still a very trending market. So in a trending market, generally, the moment it falls, it will definitely have a support closer to the 20 to 50 moving average. So let's look at the 20 and 50 moving average as an important support level. And so we will wait for some time before we go for a buy. So we will wait for a movement which is closer to the 20 to 50 moving average, and then pile on the IT stocks. Now IT stocks, particularly it is led by, we'll look at some of the stocks. So TCS is one. So TCS, if you see, extremely, today also it has rallied significantly. So it has just rallied in this month itself. If you look at the date, end of July, it was 3167 and now 3720. So 600, almost 20% in this month itself. 20% in this month itself. And there is no other, I mean, like in our index has not rallied. Our index has rallied. Broad index has rallied 900 points, means around 5-6%. But TCS has rallied 20%. So that is the value that the IT stocks are giving. So we should be looking more towards the IT stocks, and so even when compared to the lows of the last year, I think the IT stocks are still rallied by 2.5 to 3 times. So I think there has been good amount of catching up. There was some period of lull period doing this. Now it has really caught up very well, and the underperformance which we had in this particular period, now that is over, and it has now rallied significantly to move even ahead of this broad Nifty in this particular month. So wait for IT stocks, like how we showed the index. So it is better to wait for the IT stocks to come up to have some sort of a correction before we go for a buy. And TCS, any other stock, for example, they continue to look good. HCL Tech Mahindra, all are looking good. HCL Tech again is one stock which has done extremely well. I think then we have also looked at Tech Mahindra. This also, you just look at it, it has also done extremely well. So Tech Mahindra also, the same thing like any other IT stock, it had some sort of consolidation in April, February, March period of this year, and after that, since then it has rallied very significantly. So let's wait, because it's at a parabolic up move. So let's wait for all the IT stocks to correct itself before we go for some sort of a new long positions. So this is as far as IT stocks, as we said, continues to look good. So let's look at the other sector which is doing well, particularly the commodity stocks. We'll go look at the Tisco. Okay, Tisco, of course, this has been the stock of this particular year. All these stocks have rallied from closer to 200 to 1,400 levels, which means 7 times. It has eclipsed Nifty very significantly. Even in the last month also, it had in July also, if you see, let's look at the July figure. end of July. End of July was 1434, and so there is some correction now. So it has come to 1384. So we see some sort of correction in the Tisco and most of the commodity stocks. But I think once the correction comes closer to this moving average, I think no, probably it will settle down. But one important thing is we have to just wait on Monday. Monday, if the commodity stocks keep flaring up, then we should be again on the long side, because today the Fed chairman is going to speak, and it's a very important speech he is going to give. Based on that, we have to see what the reaction of the world markets is. Suppose if the world market does well, that means if the market gets convinced that the interest rates in US is going to remain low for some more time, and tapering off of asset prices is not going to take place that fast, then we will see again a big rise in commodity prices. And if that be the case, then Tisco will just start flaring up. And if that be the case, then probably any rally which is above 1425, 1426 probably would mean that end of the correction year, and we will start seeing the market going up. So we have to be very careful about Tisco, this correction, and this correction may have ended. So we look at the monthly chart. So you can make a note of the monthly chart. Probably there is a chance that this correction could be over today in case the Fed chairman speaks in keeping the interest rates lower and liquidity much higher for some more time. So this is let's look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart very clearly tells us that if we go again above this high, which is 1425, then probably we will see further bigger rally coming in. So that could be some sort of a rotation. See, because last month there was a rotation out of commodity into IT, okay, because of worry regarding the QE tapering and all. Now, if the QE tapering things go off, then in that case the IT sector can cool off a little bit, and that particular case we will see the commodity prices at least rallying in the short term. So I think the rotation we have to be careful now. If you are already into IT stocks, probably just look at whether we should take profits in IT sector on Monday, depending on what the Fed chairman says today, and probably rotate back into the commodity stocks on Monday. Okay, so this is keep a watch on Tisco, which is a flare for the commodity stocks. Now, if that be the case, then let's look at what's going to happen as far as because we are trying to show you samples of each sector. Now we have shown the commodity stocks, we have shown the IT stock. We will look at the auto stock, and we will also look at some other small and mid cap stocks. So auto stocks, if you look at it, I think Maruti. This stock is not, generally speaking, auto sector is not doing that well, and this is the weekly chart, and even in weekly chart it is trading below 20 and 50 moving averages. So now let's look at the monthly chart. Monthly chart also, no, it's not good. It's not good. So I think mostly we expect that probably auto stocks something which we can avoid for the time being, and let's wait for a deeper pullback as far as the auto sector is concerned, and that pullback can come up to between these trend lines. Now let's look at the trend line here. So we will draw a parallel line here. Now that line is going to go off, right? So this line, this is an important support. So I think if this important support goes off, then probably we will be looking at much deeper pull down, which can take Maruti closer to 5,450 levels. So there's a chance that Maruti and type of stocks can come down a little more down. So we need to wait for some more developments as far as auto sector is concerned. So better to avoid auto stocks for the time being and concentrate in taking profit in IT and looking towards commodity again, depending on what the Fed chairman says today. So we will look at some banks. We will look at ICICI, which has done well compared to even ICICI Bank, I think this is a monthly chart, and it is continuing to do well. So we will look at the daily chart, and no, there seems to be this correction seems to be getting over, because now it has come below 20 moving average and it has started moving up, right? So now, since it has come below 20 and started to move up, I think this is a pivot point below the 20. So I think this may be a very important low level. That is 674 low, could be quite a decent low, and so now it is 699 or so. So you can look towards buying at least a 700 call option, or probably look towards for next month, September or so. I think buying a 700 call option and selling something like a 750 call option in order to reduce the premium may work. So I think you can look at ICICI with a 700 750 call option spread, or 700 720 30 type of call option spread, in order to make money there. So ICICI probably is one stock in the banking sector, now looking good, because it has corrected a little bit and now looks like going up. So just concentrate on ICICI. Now we can look at probably some other stocks which are FMCG stocks. We look at Asian Paints. Now Asian Paints, it has a great, it just rallies for 1 or 2 days and then it starts falling. So I'm not very, we are not very convinced about this, but anyway, it just took support very closer to the 50 moving average. Chance that probably it can come back to 2950 levels, and then probably settle down, and then we have to see how it works around this 2950, because out of this FMCG stocks, Asian Paints is one great stock. But if you see the number of days it is positive, I think the last July and August, the number of days it has been positive is very less, which means there is not much of strength. I would say there is not much of strength, because the number of positive days in Asian Paints in the entire 1-2 months period is not much. So I think it is better to still avoid even Asian Paints and wait for a slightly deeper correction, which probably could come. There's a monthly chart. Let's look at then weekly chart. So probably we have to wait for some more pullback, and probably the pullback can take place up to the, particular to this high, which is 2580 or so. So some more correction is possible as far as Asian Paint type of stocks is concerned. So let's look at probably now the mid cap, that is NSE small cap. Let's look at the NSE small cap index. Or Nifty Small Cap. Okay, Nifty Small Cap 250, which is a much broader small cap stocks, and it has now come on a weekly basis to take support. So there has been a decent correction which has taken place as far as Nifty Small Cap Index is concerned, and we have seen the Nifty Small Cap in the last this one now has rallied. In fact, has rallied much more. Compared to the broader Nifty. So even of course in this month it has had a fall, generally speaking. So this is a month where probably, let's look at this month, and this is a month where we had a steeper fall, where we had quite a steep fall, right? So it raised alarm over whether it is going to, this particular thing is going to sustain or it is going to have a fall. Now this particular this indication is not good generally speaking, but there is a considerable pullback that has taken place in the last 1 week or so, which gives some sort of a hope that probably you might have seen a short-term bottom as far as small cap is concerned. See, look at this chart, and this is what we call the squat bar, and this squat bar which has come in Nifty Small Cap, particularly in the weekly chart, gives an impression that probably in the next week or month, probably the Nifty Small Cap index can also rally. So any small cap, you look at, probably you can look towards buying some of this, and you can focus on good stocks like Pidilite Industries. That's a good stock. So you can concentrate in Jubilant Foods, the Pidilite Industries, like that. The stocks which are generally much good, and also we have a lot of other stocks which could be in other industries. It could be in finance like Cholamandalam Finance. It could be any other stocks. Particularly see last month or so, some companies which are relying on exports also have done well. So you can look at those type of stocks. So I have given one or two names of that. Now you can look at in a specific stock which are in the this one which has done extremely well and is set for further gain. But only thing is we are not getting any proper correction. Apollo Hospitals. See this stock, in a week, if you see this month of August itself, and see the rally that has taken place, a phenomenal rally. For last month was 4035 and now is around 4765, almost 20% rally. Similar to what I told you as far as TCS is concerned. And look at this stock comparatively. See, this was during the pandemic time. It just crashed to around this mark of 1,139 or so, and now it is 4,760 or so. See here the low, I would say it was even lower. It was 1,047. The low particularly which touched at that point was 1,047, and now it is it's almost 4.5 times. 4.5 times. Nifty is not that. Nifty is only 2.5 times, right? So definitely this has outclassed Nifty in a significant manner over a period of time. And this stock generally, except some period of 2016-17, has maintained its bull run very considerably. But only thing, it has gone so significantly higher, it is now a threat to buy. Wait for some correction, but keep this stock also in your mindset for buying. So there are other important stocks which are doing well, which I will give you. One is the look at probably Tata Consumer. This is one stock which has done extremely well. So this also has done more than 4 times. So these are stocks which have bet Nifty considerably. So these are stocks which have really bet Nifty. So what at any point of time we need to identify that generally which are the stocks which continue to always beat Nifty. So if Nifty rallies, what happens? So which stocks does extremely well? So that can be done from even the past track record. Of course, there are times when probably all these products from 2013 to 2017, there has been not much of a movement as far as Tata Consumer is concerned. But ever since 2017, the e-commerce advent in India, this company has done extremely well. So this is one stock which we have to keep in mind for future. Now on the consumer side, let's look at Titan Industries. Titan company. This has also done very well, and from the of course this is not that it has overwhelmed like Apollo Hospital also, but it has done well, okay, over a period of time. So Titan Industry, even in the month of August, I think it has done extremely well. If you look at the August close, it was 1714 and now it's 1822, approximately around 6% or so. So there has been a rally which is of course in line with what the Nifty has happened, but this stock generally does well. So Titan Industry is one stock which you can keep in mind. In the small cap, let's look at something like mid cap, Pidilite Industries. So look at this stock. This stock also has done extremely well. And so this is of course I would say this has done almost compared to this one, it has done in line with slightly in line with Nifty only in this entire thing. But over a period of time, that is since 2011 2013, this has done a phenomenal rise. This has had a phenomenal rise. So This is one stock again which does well. So of all these stocks which we have seen, the stocks which have done extremely well are stocks like TCS. Then we have had Apollo Hospital, which has done well. Tata Consumer has done well. So keep some of these stocks in mind for correction. This year has been generally a rally in commodity stocks, and so we have to rotate ourselves depending on the situation between a commodity and IT. So that is where probably the juggling has to be done. So if you are a short-term trader and you want to pick the stocks like a mutual fund manager, then which sector is going to do well? If you look at it, I think probably you can just leave time being auto and FMCG. Okay, just time being just leave auto and FMCG out. Now look at stocks or sector which has corrected itself. The sector which has corrected itself is Nifty Small Cap. Okay, so it can go up. So look at that. Look at sector wise. Look at commodity sector again, whether it will go up, whether you need to book your profit in IT. Okay, Bank Nifty again has not done extremely well. You have to look at specific stocks, and one stock which has done well and which continues to may do well is ICICI. So generally now if you want to concentrate in stocks, I think the 4 or 5 stocks you have to look at, wait for correction, but now after correction going up, right now ICICI looks good. Correction you need to wait for stocks like Apollo Hospital, TCS, and tomorrow or day after tomorrow if Tata Steel starts running up, then just concentrate on commodity stocks again, and the leader being Tata Steel for the time being. Okay. Now as far as the broad index is concerned, ETF, you just wait for IT ETF to come down a little bit before you go long. Okay. Now as far as the broad market Nifty is concerned, I think it looks to be a 16,500, 17,300 market for September. Any correction, I think it's a good. I think probably today whatever happened itself may be a correction, this one, because these days it doesn't correct much. So one thing that, but in case if it falls a little bit on Fed announcement or any type of news which comes today, then probably 16,375 is very important level which can hold. Only a deep pullback can take it down to the 50 moving average, which we have seen here, Nifty. So there are only a few occasions when it has crossed much below the 50 moving average, and this has been one occasion, and this is another occasion. So except for these 2 occasions, we have seen Nifty generally doing well. So even if there is going to be a bigger fall, I think it will get contained at around 15,975, 16,000. So the bigger support for Nifty is around 15,950 to 16,000. So that's going to be a big support. And right now it is now clambered back to the 16,705. Generally speaking, Nifty, it has a tendency to rally by some trend factor, which we call demark trend factor. And every time that the last low which was made is around 15,450 or 15,500 levels. So on that, if you apply the trend following trend factor, then approximately we see the market 17,300. 17,300 could be the next important support, and before that we may have some support coming at actually resistance. The 16,800 is approximately, I get a feeling that 16,800, 825, 830 could be some important resistance level. So 16,000 today it went up a little bit. So let's look at whether it goes up and then up to 16,825, 830 it goes up and then comes down a little bit. Otherwise we are looking towards heading closer to the 17,270 or 17,300, and the mega support that is going to come will be closer to the this particular level, because normally in the Nifty in this entire period it has not collapsed more than 8 to 9%. If you look at all these corrections, it has held on to that 8 to 9%. And even over a period of time, we have not seen Nifty collapsing much about below 10% itself. There will be hardly 3-4 occasions in the entire period. So I think right now it's a blind call as far as Nifty is concerned. Any correction of 5-6% or 8-9%, it's a big investment potential as far as Nifty is concerned in the present scheme of things. Because a collapse below 10-12% normally happens only during extreme amount of pessimism surrounding the economy as well as global reasons. Now this pandemic factor is well factored, so that is one point which is now getting out of the way because markets are factored properly. The second issue is that whether there could be any policy change, anything which can affect, which doesn't seem to, the economy can bounce back from all the pandemic effect. So it looks as if corrections are still a buy as far as Nifty is concerned. Within that, what is it that you're going to buy is what we discussed today. So right now, it's up for time, so you can ask your questions. Thank you. So next week class we are going to have on Wednesday where we will discuss about the stop loss. That is whether stop losses is a necessary thing or is it something is indispensable tool, or when we should apply stop loss, what places we should apply stop loss. Okay. So this we'll have it next week. So thanks for your participation. Hope to see you next week. So stay safe. Happy weekend. Thank you very much.